a lot, and I wanted to bring it here because I wanted to pivot a bit, mostly over there. I focus on it's fragmented, so I want to bring it here and try something different. So anyway, one thing I want to focus on today is the proximity to power. A lot of people, and it's this especially something I see within finance, within networking, within all these things. People want a proximity to power. They want to get close to people, for the come up, for the idea, for the numbers, for the metrics, for the inspiration, for the everything. And for a while, I used to despise it. I still don't agree with it. It's not my lane, but for a while, I used to despise it. But now I realize people using proximity to power wrong because for what they try to get the world from each other, from the attention simulator, validation simulator, the mining simulator. For what they try to do that, I see that real power comes from spirit, comes from the creator, comes from everything. And with everything I've tried to do up to this point, all of my connections, all of my wisdom, so to speak, everything has been centered around how can we water the flock, how can we do good for the people around us. And growing from that has just been something that came from proximity, from doing that. It never came from, hey, let's just run it up off of this or do this, so let's go make some money. Making money has never been my goal with almost anything in my life. I like math, I like, but I've never done it from the position of let's run it up off the backs of others. That's not my thing. So now I move, and I understand how networking works. I understand it's not all bad, but I guess I'm really speaking to the spiritual component of how a lot of networking isn't moral, so to speak. And I guess if you're after the bag, that's cool. But as for me, I realize a lot of things in this life really come from spirit, from the creator. Like a lot of my other platforms, all those things come from one key component. And I think that's the difference between networking and the difference between actually building from a place. It's the fuel source, it's the battery, it's the why purpose. Why are you networking? Why you want the money? Why are you trying to build that? And people always talk about the why, but with me, I'm really getting to the point of I can only explain my story. So I really just started out just trying to figure out how I can build for others. I used to see the value in others. And like they say, sometimes you can't play, you coach. I'm like, I'm a pretty good coach. They say sometimes you can't play, you coach. I'm a pretty good coach. But I could always spot the value in others and try to figure out how to bring that out of them. And that's been my why for the longest time because I realized within my space, I end up organically networking that way. Of course, everybody wants to grow. But I end up organically networking that way because I wanted to find a way to push people outside their comfort zone. And not only that, I want to find a way to appreciate people and vis-a-vis, like water that flock, so to speak. That's something I say when I'm talking about, like, how I believe the creator sent us down here. We all got a job to do. We all got things to do. But I think it's also in how we steward the money. It's also in how we steward each other. It's also how we take care of each other, how we grow, how we live, how we do everything. I think all that plays a part in every action. When I think about it that way, I think about it in the perspective of that it's a responsibility, an unwritten responsibility to each other. And yeah, you could be selfish. You could just do the proximity to power networking. Shout out to that. What's her next level guru? Shout out to her. I learned a lot from her, even though her content's mostly about women. But she talk about dudes too. But I learned a lot from her. So shout out to her. But proximity to power with me within this thing is it's like something I've lived and something I've observed. Still observing it. You think you got friends, you think you got compadres, you think you got, and very rare. It's probably like a 0.1%, but in reality, it's simulated. A lot of things in reality become just simulators that like a hamster wheel within a hamster wheel. It's like a less shiny version of Ezekiel's wheel. if you're running in place and you're not getting much done. But if a lot of people live in that, and I only speak about this from this way because I don't. I sometimes I know if am I the only one that sees it. I'm pretty sure I'm not. But perspective to the sum of people and probability of people that probably see it, it'll probably be not how people move. And as long as the numbers there, and I really don't want people to confuse numbers with respect and numbers with friendship and numbers with morality. And the reason why I approach my social media and everything the way I have so far is because I want to grow organically through my efforts of what I try to do from my heart. And I easily know how to run it up, easily know how to run up a bag. I've been running the bags for a long time, but that's invest in trade and stuff. And I've kind of fallen away from that a little bit. I still get it. It's weird. It's almost like I see why celebrities get to the point and they be like, I'm not a celebrity. But for comparison, I felt like I might as well be within that realm because I could not make money if I was just like trading or day trading or investing or something or figuring out patterns on my own. It was magical, and with it being that, I grew away from it because my heart ain't too much on the numbers no more, but my heart is always in the same place. It's always been with the people, with trying to figure out as I. That's been my fuel source for the longest. As I tried to figure out how to grind and make people better, that's been a source of my battery. Not because I need the attention or nothing like that, but because going back to that layer one, my layer zero, my why. My why has always been how can you water the people? How can you water the flock per se? How can you help everybody? How can you help? I might go off the rails a little bit right here. But how can you help people that you didn't create? How can you help the creator by stewarding what he sent down here? Not just the animals, not just the money, not just that, but how can you steward that with intention and then move that forward? And that's why I like to find people. I like to find small content creators. I'm small myself, but that's because I don't care about being big. My followers isolate a lot because I believe in. I know I rub people the wrong way. It is what it is. Sometimes in my day-to-day conversations, just saying normal things, I tend to people people hear it inverted. I don't know what that's about, but I just accepted that that's a part of life. But I rub people the wrong way because I keep it so blunt. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, and I don't care. I don't care not to be disrespectful, but I say that within respect to my truth. I have to say it the way I'm saying it. Otherwise, there is no point of saying it. Like I have to say it the way. And within me wanting to say it that way, which goes back to the networking and how everything's moving and investing and all that stuff, I don't want to get to a point where I edit myself and I have to accept things. So I'm not worried about getting monetized. I'm not. That's why one reason why I did like the investing and trading and all that stuff because that was one way that I could pay myself, and I'm not going to try to make money off of that. That's just one way. I believe in independent systems and systems within systems. So if I can pay myself, if I can find a way to pay myself, if I can run a business for myself and do things, then I don't. The proximity to power really loses power when I don't need network within a way that most people do to live out here and grow. And like you don't have to leech onto systems just to have the power. You don't have to hope that the advertising rates go up, but they don't demonetize you. I value my voice more than anything, and trying to use that to steward the people, and that's why I move the way I move. Because once I move like that, I continue to appreciate people, grow people organically from a heart space and not from a dollar space. And when you can maintain your integrity, I really like that. That's when you really change the world, and that's why I think I really made this just a vent, to be honest. But as I say, proximity to power is really about people observe the patterns out here, and me just observing the patterns and wondering, do people see them? Because I have no reason or want to grow from a place of, hey, let's just run it up. That's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I love math too, but I want to maintain my integrity. And not only that, I want to cultivate. If I am going to cultivate and try to grow something organically without trying to look for the numbers or the people or nothing like that, I want it to be something that grows from me being myself and the money coming from that. Not me chasing the money to see if I can be myself, if that makes sense. I think too many times people try to get the money and then say, okay, now we have an audience, we have people. I want to just live within my purpose, not because you can't go do the magic thing and play the magic and try to run it up that way, but but because I feel like the world is lacking consistency within every realm and within performance, out for real. I don't know why they do it that way, but I don't know. But anyway, I'm on my way to the perfect realm, and it's something I like to do every other day. That's why I call it a daily tap in. And I do it all the time on X. I've been doing it for over a year. I might have missed a day here or there. Stuff happened or technical difficulties happen, but typically I like to do it this way, and I might change it a little bit. And I'm not scared to show my face or nothing like that, but I'm locked in here doing my thing, and I'll just be tapping in every day, seeing